A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents. It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The views and opinions expressed by this show are those of the show host and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of STL Hits. Any comments or questions should be directed to the show host, not STL Hits.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. We don't want to scare anybody.
Welcome to the Daddy Murr and Nina Show. Who do we have on today?
We have Pulse Park.
Pulse Park.
That's right. And
go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, how you doing today?
I'm fine, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're more welcome. We enjoyed your music.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
I'm tripping over my tongue again. Mm-hmm. Blah blah blah. That's gonna be my thing. You know that? Blah blah blah.
Is it?
Okay.
I can do it Count Dracula style. Blah blah blah.
Anyway, Mark, how you doing today?
Well, I'm fine. It's been a great day. It's evening here. It's noon where you are, and it's evening where I am.
Oh wow!
So it was a great day.
And you guys go through the time change as well too, right? So like in the summertime, it goes an hour later.
Yes.
The whole world does that.
It's summertime. Does it actually?
The whole world. Yeah.
I didn't know
the whole world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the whole world has time change twice a year.
Huh.
Okay.
Guess who invented that?
I didn't know that.
Edison.
Oh. Seriously, it was Edison?
Did he quotation mark invent it?
Well, between I think Edison and Benjamin Franklin.
Okay.
Because they wanted to give the farmers more daylight so that they can work longer hours in the fields.
Listen, I'm on team longer hours anyway.
Sounds like slave labor to me.
I always thought it was a European thing.
No, it's worldwide.
See, and I always thought it was an American thing.
Yeah. Well, it started somewhere, right? And they say it started here. And then, with the, world leaders, they got together and said, okay, let's all do it.
Huh. Well, the more you know, the more you grow, right?
Yeah. I don't know much, but I do know that he has some pretty good songs out there.
Yeah, he does. Yes. Now, how many people are in your band?
We're 3. We used to be 4, but we're 3 since October of last year.
So the other one got voted off the island.
Yes, yes, unfortunately. But
Well,
we just shook our heads and then moved on, and it works perfectly. We will never be a four-piece again.
well, I mean that kind of thing happens. So I mean,
Yeah.
you just do what you guys do best and are comfortable at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. It made things simpler. Our sound became simpler through that, and we just loved that process. We we thought we would need a fourth person, but then after unsuccessful search, we just found it's perfect, just like it is as a trio. So
And how long have you guys been a trio?
a trio since I think since October or September last year.
Oh, okay.
Very new then.
Yeah.
But you've
Yeah.
been playing for a long time, I'm sure.
No, we first met in January 2020, just right before the pandemic broke out. So we started, loved what we were doing, and then we had to stop for months until we could
Yes.
carefully try to come back together again.
Right, so how long have you been playing music individually?
Just me myself.
Yeah.
Well, I learned to play the guitar when I was 8, so that was 1988 when I got my first guitar.
So
So
just
it's
2 or
now
3 years ago.
yes, 34 years ago.
Mhm.
Oh, now you're telling your age. Don't do that.
Okay, we can. It's not live, right? We can cut it out later.
Right. No, we are live, so hey.
No, I know,
yeah,
I know.
yeah. We're live on the air. We're live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. We're also live on STL Hits Radio. This is the Daddy Murr and Nina show once again.
Yep.
You shouldn't have told me that. I'm shaking now.
Oh,
Why are you
I'm sorry.
shaking?
You're doing
no.
great.
No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Now, you told us, before we went live that this is your very first interview.
Yes,
In person.
in very first in-person interview, right? There were
Well,
some interviews that where people would write some questions to us, and we asked them, we answered them, and but this is the first time that someone would really ask me questions, and
yeah,
I would have to answer right away.
and if you notice, we don't send out questions because we're not, scripted.
Professional.
We're not,
Oh.
professional. We're not scripted in any way because we like to have the Daddy Murr and Nina show is a unique show in a way that we just like to have you on there, have the real person on. Let your fans get to know you a little bit as a real person because fans forget that you are real people behind the music.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a great idea to do it that way, because the questions we got asked were quite similar, to be honest.
Oh, they're all the same.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll ask you a lot of the same questions too.
I try not to. How many toes and fingers do you have?
Oh,
Toes
hey.
and fingers. Oh, since we have walked through the Arctic, it's just eight toes and 2 fingers.
I bet you nobody else will ask you that question ever.
That's true. Yeah, the first time.
And where are you guys again?
We're in a very western part of Germany right now. So we are from different cities that you probably will never have heard of. I guess the closest really famous city might be Düsseldorf, where Kraftwerk came from.
Oh, Dusseldorf. Actually,
Yes.
I think I have heard of that.
Yeah.
Or Cologne. Cologne is quite
Mhm.
popular, I think.
Yeah, I need some cologne.
You saying you stink?
You say it all the time. So we're gonna play one of your songs. Which one would you like to play there, Mark?
Oh, I think I love them all, but my favorite one right now would be Factory Fire, I think.
All right.
Okay.
You wanna give us sort of a background or an intro of that, and I'll just push the play button.
Well, it's the only thing that tells kind of a story of all the songs we have made up until now. The most songs we do are quite abstract, but this is quite plain, some kind of a psycho love song, and that makes it kind of special.
Aren't those the best? The psycho love songs.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Factory Fire, Psycho Love Song.
Thank you.
Taking off for present days, December takes its toll, bleeding right into my heavy heart. They all want you, but I want you the most. They all want you, but I want you the most. Triangle shirtwaist, factory fire. Have you heard about those two? Fell into their arms, then to the ground. Unison is all that matters. Opposites attract. Polar as we are, we pull apart. They all want you, but I want you the most. They all want you, but I want you the most. They all want you, but I want you the most. They all want you, but I want you the most. They all want you, but I want you the most. They all want you, but I want you the most.
Factory Fire by Pulse Park. Man, what a great song. Yeah, I love your guys' tone. It kind of reminds me of a mellow Moody Blues.
Do you know who Moody Blues is?
Yes, I know at least Nights in White Satin. My father had that record.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Nights in White Satin is a good song.
Yeah.
I mean,
So, but that's what your guys' sound kind of reminds me of, like a mellow Moody Blues type. You know, a little bit of a throwback sound, which is cool. You know.
yeah. That's exactly what we intended to do. Do something not necessarily very new or just make good music again, because there's very few music that is not rock music that is not ironic or postmodern or something, and I'm just fed up with this, and we just want to make good melodic rock music.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you turn on, most mainstream radio stations, most of the bands now, and it started back in the early 2000s,
Mm-hmm.
most of the bands from then till now, they all kind of sound the same, like Green Day, and you know what I mean? That they all kind of adopted that particular sound, and because one band became popular with it, so they all wanted to do the same thing. It seems like. I don't like that. I think everybody should be their own individual. Express yourself your way, and and in my opinion, you'll go a lot farther.
Thank you. Well, our influences are quite obvious. I think we are into 90s alternative rock music. That's where it all comes together for us. But there is a really broad variety of influences in our band. You
Oh,
know,
yeah, absolutely.
that's
That's
and it all
Like
comes
who?
together.
I'm sorry, we're talking over you. Who influenced you?
Me personally, I really love very quiet singer-songwriter stuff like Nick Drake or Red House Painters. Um, but I really love very heavy stuff. Um, really metal, heavy metal.
Mhm.
And so it's quite difficult for me. But the bands that I really loved when I was very young were The Cure and Nirvana.
Oh
That were,
yeah.
there were those great bands that I loved in my youth. And our bass player Frank loves really crazy stuff. He's into Frank Zappa, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and our drummer likes melodic noise rock like Sonic Youth or the Pixies, and this
Okay.
is where it all comes together in our sound.
now. See, for me, my all time favorites are still my all time favorites, and they was from the '70s, '70s and early '80s, like Kiss, REO, Journey, Styx.
Mm,
But I mean, I love listening to those, but I enjoy more listening to the indie artists with newer, fresher ideas now.
Yes.
yes.
Because you hear stuff within the indie artists that you don't hear, like I said earlier, you don't hear on mainstream.
Mm,
So that's why there's so many talented people out there. When I started doing my show years ago, I wanted to focus on indie artists because there's so many talented people out there that would never get heard if it wasn't for somebody doing a show like this.
yes, that's true. That's true.
So
That back in the days there was a handful people who would decide which bands would get heard and which wouldn't. And I think there in the 50s and 60s and 70s, a lot of really great bands never got any airplay, never got heard anywhere. So music has become more democratic, and the internet makes a lot of things possible.
Yes, I do agree with you. The internet does make a lot of things possible, but still on a lot of mainstream uh, music places, it still is like the same 15, 20 people
Yeah,
that you hear
probably. Yeah, that's
over and over again.
oh
yeah.
yeah, I mean,
And
I love Pat Benatar, but
yeah,
you can only listen to her for so long.
I don't know. I could listen to Stevie Nicks all day long.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I can listen to Pulse Park.
Hey, there you
Thank you.
go. Right on.
Now, how do you pronounce your name that you got up there on the screen so everybody can pronounce it?
The band name or my own name?
The name you got up there on the screen that you typed in for getting into the chat
Yeah.
room here.
That's Magnusson,
Magnus Son.
right? And the band is Pulse Park.
All right.
So, what does Magnuson mean? I think that's
The
where he's going.
it doesn't have a certain meaning, but it has a meaning to me because one of my best friend's mother, I have the tendency to talk very quickly. And when she didn't knew me, but I had to call my friend, and she took up the phone. She always understood my full name, my first name and my last name as Magnusson. So
Hmm.
for years, she used to think that was my name and my real name, and until we had no idea.
That's
And years later, then she said, "You are that Magnusson guy that always calls here." That stuck as a nickname for me.
Kind of like Danielson.
Yeah,
that is so sweet, really.
It is. That's a good story.
That's
I
a
like
very
that.
good story.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It's actually true.
Well, okay. So we have in my notes here that You guys are German and Canadian.
Yes.
So is it 2/3 German or 2/3 Canadian?
It's 2/3 German.
And-
Two-thirds and our drummer is half Canadian, you can say. And our manager is Canadian.
Okay.
Our, our drummer lives in Germany for one half of the year, and the other half he's in Canada, in Montreal, where his girlfriend
wow.
lives.
Now we
Our
recently
manager
interviewed another Canadian.
Al Harlow.
Yeah, he was he's going solo, but his band was very famous in the late 70s and early 80s called
Prism.
Prism. Yeah, I don't know why
Prism.
I'm going. Prism.
Okay.
They have a lot of records out there and a really good sound too.
Okay.
So if you
I
ever
think I-
think about it, look up Al Harlow.
Yeah. I will check it out.
And while we're plugging people, why don't you go ahead and plug yourself again, buddy?
Absolutely.
Tell people where they can find your music and everything.
Our music is available on all big streaming platforms: Spotify, Deezer, Amazon Music. What else? iTunes. Is that iTunes? Amazon. No. Apple Music. It's called Apple Music, right?
Yeah, iTunes or Apple Music.
Yeah.
Yes. And our record label, Shore Dive Records, has a website where you can order our CD in a very small edition.
Okay. And that's
So far.
Shore Dive,
Shore Dive.
SHORE.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. They're in Great Britain, in Brighton, England.
Right now, we like to do a segment called a foodie segment. So, what is your favorite food?
Oh, that's really difficult because I love eating, but I think I love risotto with asparagus. That's something I really like to eat, but I love to have a barbecue. I love all kinds of pasta. I love but you asked me for the one favorite food. I think it would be risotto with asparagus.
I've never had it with asparagus.
Oh, you should try it. It's great.
Now, I love cooking. You mentioned barbecue, and I love cooking on the grill. Asparagus with bacon wrapped around it.
Yes.
And there's
yes.
garlic and onions inside the bacon before you wrap it around the asparagus.
Yeah, it's great. I know this.
It's very good.
Sounds fancy to me.
The problem with making it is everybody eats it faster than you can cook it.
Anything with bacon goes that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Do you have a charcoal grill or a gas?
Oh, well, right now I have a gas grill, but I've cooked over open fire, charcoal.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have 4 grills. I
Oh,
used to have 2 gas and 2 charcoal, and then I had a fire pit that I used to cook in years ago. And I would barbecue $125 worth of meat every weekend.
oh,
That would be today. That would be 2 pork steaks, $125.
yeah. Prices have changed.
And maybe a hot dog.
Right.
Can't forget the hot dog.
So, do you know pork steaks from where you are?
Pork sticks. I don't know. I guess I don't.
It's unique to the St. Louis area. I mean, it's
Okay.
spreading out more because people who've been here and have had it
People in the
really
southern
enjoy it.
people in the southern United States don't know what pork steaks are.
Mm-hmm. And,
Okay.
and what is that like the
It's the shoulder that's cut in steaks,
mm-hmm.
Ah,
So it's a little bit fattier
Mhm.
meat.
but it's very popular
Oh,
around
it's
here.
so good.
They used to be cheap. That's why they're popular. Now they're not cheap no more because they became popular.
Okay.
Same thing like wings, chicken wings. Butchers
Yeah.
used to give chicken wings away
Mm.
because they couldn't do nothing with them when they cut up the chickens for the breast meat.
Mhm.
They'd
Mhm.
give the chicken wings away. So, but now they're as much as a T-bone steak.
Yeah, when I was in the States for the last time, I was surprised about the prices in the supermarket. I did not expect this because I always thought America is the place where you can get a lot for your money. But
Well, not
seems
so
like
much anymore.
Yeah.
Since this whole COVID situation,
Mm.
everything has skyrocketed. Even
Okay.
eggs now, they're $4 per carton.
What?
And they used to be 88 cents, 72 cents.
For a dozen eggs, yeah.
And that was
Mhm.
just within 6 months.
Yep.
Okay.
Now it's $4 to $5 for a dozen eggs. I'm about ready to go buy some chickens.
Yeah.
'Cause I know those chickens don't eat $4 or $5 worth of food every week.
No.
Well, we're gonna play another one of your songs, buddy.
Yeah, sure.
Which one would you like to hear next?
How about sine wave?
All right. And from Pulse Park, it's Sine Wave.
That Raymond should be known as the measure of all things. Things that are too long forgotten. Forgot to tell you what it brings. I will always make it up. I demand from you to do so. An effervescing way. But I assure you that I won't go. Was there anything to dread? At the time I didn't care. Carrying away the night wouldn't mind if you were there. Our process of decay. Another half-past full disclosure. Can you stay out of my way? Wouldn't mind if you came over. I will always make it up. And I demand from you to do so. An effervescing way. But I assure you that I won't go. Our process of decay. Another half-life full disclosure. Can you stay out of my way? I wouldn't mind if you came over.
Sine Wave by Pulse Park. And we're back.
By Pulse Park. Yeah.
She's over here multitasking and not paying attention, I think.
Well, I'm paying attention. It's just I'm not that quick. So, you know. So
I'm
what?
still thinking. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I'm still thinking about that Moody Blues comparison that I haven't heard before.
Did you like that one?
I did, but I don't know too much of their music. Maybe I should pay more attention to them. Our producer in the studio said that my voice reminded him of Alan Parsons.
I don't know who that is.
Couldn't it? There was a band
Ellen
called
Parsons.
the Alan Parsons Project. They had some hits in the 70s, I guess.
Yeah, now I'll have to look that one back up because I know the name. It's just I'm not real good with names, and I'm better with if I hear a song that I know.
I think Eye in the Sky was a song by them, and Don't Answer Me.
Eye in the
Those were
Sky.
the two hits, I think. If I'm not
I'm writing this down because we're gonna Google
mistaken
it.
them.
We're gonna get on.
Like I said, I remember the name, but it's been a while, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to refresh my memory.
Well, and also, you guys have bands that we don't have. And you know what I mean? Like especially back in the day, in the 70s and 80s, we weren't able to share our music as much as we can now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That has some advantages and some disadvantages because there's a really lot of white noise, and I used to spend a lot more time with one single record than I do nowadays because it's just so much music,
Yes.
and it's become some kind of music to tindering something. So good, bad, good, bad.
Well,
And
as a generation, I think that we are distraction oriented
hmm.
now. With all the
Yeah,
technology, we
yes.
our minds don't work more than about 10 seconds at a time, and
Yeah.
that's a shame. That I think that's a downfall to the technology. The upside of the technology is the fact that we can do these kind of interviews from halfway across the world.
Yeah, right. But when back in the days when I was a child or as a very young person, my pocket money that my parents gave me was like $5 a week, so I could buy a record every 2 weeks or maybe once a month.
Mhm.
And if I bought it, I had to like it.
Yes.
So I spent hours until I liked it, and those are my favorite records
Oh,
till
absolutely.
today.
Absolutely. I was kind of in the same boat there, except
Mhm.
for back when I was a kid, I'd get 25 cents to go buy a bag of candy.
Right.
And 25 cents bought a lot of candy.
I was a chubby
Yeah.
kid too. I'm still a chubby kid, but that's what I spent my my money on as well. Penny candy from the corner store down at the end of the block. Mm.
Yeah. I started buying records at a quite young age. It was when I was 8, just like when I started playing guitar. I started buying records. That was my hobby as a child.
And look at where it's taken you. Your
Yes,
passion. Mhm.
Now, let me ask you, as far as a first interview, how do you think this one's going?
it's going great.
You feel comfortable?
Totally. I'm not spending a second thinking about being live on air somewhere.
Yeah.
Just it's like we're
Don't
sitting in a room.
don't
together.
worry about those 3 million people listening.
That was a jerk move. Hey. Are you understanding a lot of our slang? A lot of
I
our.
think so. I think so.
Mhm.
Now, you spent some time in the United States, you said, right?
No,
Where-
no, not sometime. Just for holidays.
Okay. Well, okay, for the holidays. Where do you usually go when you come to the United States? What area?
I was there it was in Boston, around the Boston area. It was only the East Coast so far.
The
And
Boston area.
Boston area was yes.
So you're a
Wow.
Boston boy.
No, it was just one of my friends was there for a year, and I visited him.
How did you
at the
like it?
time. I loved it. It was very different from what I expected the United States to be, but I guess it probably is quite different from the rest of the U.S.
Well, every area is different from
Yeah,
each area.
yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
it really is. You go 100 miles in any direction, and
Yeah.
for you, I don't know how many kilometers that'd be, but you go 100 miles in any direction, and it's just slightly different.
Mhm.
Yeah.
People are
Yeah.
slightly different.
Well, and we spent 20 days over in Massachusetts,
Mhm.
and it was completely different from where we live.
Yeah, but
The
quite European, right?
well, there was a lot of diversity compared to where we live now, um, which was fantastic. I love that. And then the language and the body language of the people that we
People
got.
get very excited.
Oh, it was we had such a blast.
I think here in the St. Louis area we're a little bit more laid back and less animated.
Yes.
As far as the
Okay.
body language and stuff like that's concerned.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I hope you understand what I mean whenever
Yeah,
I
I think
say
so.
that. It was totally different energy than where we are in
Oh,
the
it's fun.
Midwest. Uh-huh.
It was a
was
blast.
Have you been to Europe?
No,
no.
not yet, but plan someday.
Mhm.
I have to get over my fear of flying.
See, I would love
Okay.
to go over there, and because the European countries are so small compared to what we're used to, I guess
Yes.
that you guys get on a train and you go from Germany to France to wherever within a day.
That's so cool.
And you just a train ride.
Hmm.
Yes. Yes.
So I would love to be able to do that, to explore that option. Just like a lot of people that I've met when I was traveling the country, I met a few people I used to take Greyhound bus everywhere because you meet very interesting people on a Greyhound bus.
Yeah.
And a lot of backpackers will take a bus and then they'll get off and they'll walk for 100 miles or whatever to see the country. Then they'll get back on a bus, which is very interesting. And most of the backpackers that I did talk to, I talked to 3 or 4 of them. They were from Europe, and they came over here to backpack across America. Now, I guess that's a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's a thing, but it's a thing. I'd rather take a limousine, but hey,
Well, you have to get your money to spread out, So have you ever done things, something like that, the backpacking across?
No. I'm not the outdoor type. I really like my hotel room or a roof above my head, and not going. And I need a plan for me to where I will be, where I will stay, and not just see what will come next. That's nothing for me.
I think I'm in between.
Okay.
Excuse me.
The older I get, the more fearful I get of things. Whenever I was younger, I would have been all about backpacking.
Mhm.
But nowadays, I want a nice, comfortable car to ride in.
well, I'm in my 50s, and I love outdoor. I love camping. I love outdoors, but I also love having a bed that I don't get eaten up by
Oh.
mosquitoes.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of hostels over there in Europe, right?
Right. We have a lot of hostels here.
So, where people just rent a bed and there's several.
Oh, kind of like we have
People in a room.
Airbnb over here.
No,
But
it's. Oh, go
we
ahead.
have Airbnb here too. We have it here
Oh, do you?
too. Airbnb. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But a hostel's different than Airbnb.
Yeah.
I don't know the difference.
Airbnb is the apartment of some regular people, right? And,
Right,
and
okay.
a hostel is something like a hotel, but a little smaller and not that fancy, I guess.
Right.
Is that the
Oh,
difference?
okay.
And then the hostels.
See, I learned something new every day.
Well, the hostels, people actually just rent beds. So it's like bunk beds and stuff, isn't it?
Did I understand that?
At a
Understand that?
hostel,
Yes.
people just rent the beds. So you could have 5 or 6 different people, strangers in the same room.
I think that's true. Yeah.
Hmm.
Really?
I wouldn't
I've-
feel safe
I've never-
with that.
I've never been in a hostel. I always went to hotels or those holiday apartments that you just mentioned.
See, that's one of the
Airbnb.
reasons why they make those horror movies.
Yeah, there was a horror movie called Hostel, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And Hostel
It was-
1, Hostel 2, Hostel 3. I think there's a bunch of them, I think.
I just saw the first one, and it was in Europe, right? American people coming to Europe. If I
Right.
remember that correctly.
Right.
That's-
Yeah. there's something going on with that theme there that you was talking about.
Right.
Nina.
Oh, that's funny.
So we got one more song to play.
Mhm.
And go ahead, introduce it.
Well, I think. How about the Equidistance? That's a song that we always go crazy in our practice space when we play it live ourselves.
The Equidistance.
Right.
By the Pulse. Here we go. Or Pulse Park.
Pulse.
No, I don't know, but I assume if there's a way off the line when you decide to leave or stay. Yours or mine, all alone. No, I don't know, but I assume if there's a way off the line, then you decide to leave or stay. Yours or mine, all alone. Turns to red, turn your head, bend your neck, more or less, exist or else, throw yourself into your goal, all alone.
Welcome back to the Daddy Marinina Show on STLHits.com. And we are talking today with Pulse Park.
Yeah, not the park or the
No,
Pulse.
you said the Pulse.
The Pulse.
So this is Pulse Park, a German and Canadian trio. And this is Mark.
Hi.
Or Magnuson.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Hi.
Now, I wanted to ask you, are you guys doing any live shows or anything coming up this year?
Yes, we're planning to play shows, but we have no idea how much is possible because we still have that pandemic state here. There are some shows here and there. and so we will try to put up some shows ourselves. Yes, and
So
probably even around Europe, whatever's possible. That's our plan.
Now we talked to somebody yesterday, and they because of the pandemic, they was doing their shows, live concerts on Twitch.
Okay.
So that might be something. You
Yeah.
guys haven't thought of doing that.
No, we
Yeah.
haven't
I
so
don't-
far. Maybe
I don't know if you can charge tickets or not through Twitch. I don't know that
We-
much
we would-
about Twitch.
we would do it for free, but we had to clean up our practice space first before we do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, you can come over
Yeah.
here and clean up our space too while you're at it.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's a great venue to get out there.
Yeah. Yes, it
We're
is.
we're thinking about going to Twitch as well.
Well, I've been told for a long time that I need to get on Twitch, but with everything else, with building the Roku channel and trying to build up everything else, it's
I
just
don't-
just another thing to add to the list of stuff to do.
I don't know if Mark knows about the Roku channel. Do you?
Not yet. No,
But
Okay.
you,
but I read it in one of your emails.
Okay.
yeah, because the Roku channel, the STL Hits TV on Roku, will be up and running. Hopefully by the end of the month, if not a couple weeks into June.
Right.
We're still trying to get everything lined out and hashed out and programmed, and it takes a lot. It's a lot of work to develop a Roku TV channel. So it's still in the works. But as soon as we get that up and running, we're going to let everybody know.
Right. So your videos will go up there.
This interview will go up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
So, and if you have MP4s of your music videos, we could put those on there as well.
If you have any music videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we do have at least one.
Yeah, because we're going to do like an MTV type section
Oh,
on
cool.
there
Great.
and just
That's
play
great.
music videos of independent artists.
Mhm.
And of course your interviews under the Daddy Maranina show category, and just all kinds of different things. After the TV network is released to the public, I'm hoping within 3 to 6 months we'll be able to do live shows straight to the Roku TV.
Wow.
That's what we're
That
working
sounds
toward.
great.
So, like our own version of a Twitch.
Our own
kind of-
version of a actual TV channel.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
When that happens, we'll get a hold of the bands and see if the bands want to do live concerts.
Yeah.
And those hopefully will be pay-per-view type concerts, and the bands will get a portion of that money.
Just let us know. I think
Yeah.
we would love to do that.
Oh yeah, and absolutely. You guys keep us in contact and let us know what you're doing, your new stuff coming out and stuff like that. And we're gonna put it on the air.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, thank you.
And I'm going to make you repeat yourself. Where can people buy your music, and where can they find you?
They can find us on all those big streaming platforms like Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music, and Amazon Music. And they can buy our record, our CD, from our label, Shore Dive Records in Brighton, England. They have
And
a
that's
Bandcamp side, I think. Yes, Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. Okay.
Yeah, Bandcamp's real popular.
Yeah, right
Yes.
now.
Yeah, I think it's even more popular or getting more popular than Apple. As far as people go into,
Mm-hmm.
it's a newer thing.
Yeah. We're like around 10 years older than you. So
Mhm.
it's
So you're 35.
oh yeah, okay.
What do you say?
He said
So
that
you're
he's
35.
That's
Shut up. I'll be
Well-
53 here in a couple months.
Okay.
you know how it's hard to adapt to all these new things that are coming out, and there's so much stuff, so many venues to go through. Just like all of our podcasts are out there on everything, iHeart, Apple Podcast, you name it. So this interview will be put in our podcast as well, but it'll be minus the music.
Mhm.
So it'll just be us talking. And then
Yeah, the podcast services has really gotten funky about having music in their
Mhm.
stuff. So
Okay.
a lot of them, that we have to we have to take the music out in order to use their service. You have to sign a waiver and everything else saying you will not put music in their service
Okay.
because
Mhm.
they don't want to get sued.
Right.
And it's what it boils down to. It's all the legality crap.
Right.
So
We would never sue anybody, but I can understand that.
Right. And then there are others who are so crazy.
well, I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just letting everybody know it's not because of us, because I would love to keep the music in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But it's these podcast services are weird, some of them.
Yeah. Now, whenever you start doing your live shows, you let us know.
We will, certainly.
All right. Well, we are out of time, so we're going to wrap it up. And I'm going to tell you, man, it's been a pleasure talking with you. Thanks for coming on the Daddy Murnina show here on STL Hits Radio. And you just have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day and keep us informed. Stay in touch.
Well,
Yes.
the pleasure was all mine. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
See you next time.
See you next time. Absolutely.
STL Hits, the future.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A Teenager. Learning the Lingo.
Today, I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.